NoorInternational.net. In 1916, in the city of Woking, England, the first translation of the Holy Quran into English was published by Muhammad Ali Lahori. That translation remained a reference to the following translations for many years. It is regrettable that the translator belongs to the Qadiani sect, and therefore his translation includes many errors in various places that require the examination of specialists in the doctrine of Islam. Then other translations appeared which are worthy of appreciation. The authors spent their entire lives working on them, to the extent that some of them died on their way to achieving their goal in a state of poverty, while having none but the translation for which they dedicated their lives. The translations differed. However, they shared the old language used in the Bible, which is difficult to understand for many people of today's generation. Other translations were not devoid of methodological and linguistic errors. In the midst of the urgent need, and 2 decades ago, the idea of a new translation of the Quran was born. It's characterized by the use of easy words, the soundness of the methodology underlying it, as well as the accuracy in transmitting the meaning of the original text. It was the translation of Sahih International, which is characterized by the fact that it sticks to the sound tenets of the faith. As for the easy language it uses and its modern aspect, it can be asserted that this is a distinctive mark of this translation. It is to be noted that the translation team is composed of native English speakers who have a distinctive proficiency in Arabic and a mastery of the translation profession. Dr. Yusuf Estes described it as the best available translation of the Holy Quran.
Languages you want it in. We do have brothers who are doing this work, and they'll be happy to cooperate with us to help you do a better job. But what we really want to focus on is the best of the quality of translations. And I recommend Sahih International.
Dr. Zakir Naik said this translation corresponds with the original text.
Overall, amongst all the English translations, there are a few. One of them is the Sahih International.
The translation of Sahih International has been supported by many charitable organizations. The Department of Guidance at the Holy Mosque distributed thousands of copies of the English translation to the visitors of Mecca. The Department of Guidance at the Prophet's Mosque distributed thousands of copies of the English translation to the visitors of the Prophet's burial chamber. The translation work achieved notable success after the publication of the translation into English, French, European Spanish, and Latin American Spanish. With a total of 2,500,000,000 speakers, translations at this stage cover most of the world. These translations also include several Quranic products, such as the Children's Quran version, the last 10 juz of the Quran, and so on. As a result of these successes, Noor International has been established to ensure an effective growth with a new version of translating the meanings of the Quran and communicating it to the world. It carries a noble message to communicate the Word of God through translating the meanings of the Quran into international languages based on a scientific methodology and the use of contemporary language carried out by a qualified team in accordance with the criteria of international excellence. With a copy of the Book of God in his hands, Omar, may Allah be pleased with him, turned from an enemy of Islam to Omar el-Farouk, the Caliph of the Muslims. One of the American non-Muslims who heard a recitation of the Quran told us, "I hope that this book will enter every house." If some of the songs have reached more than 2 billion views through YouTube, we aspire to deliver the Word of God to more than 1 billion people at this stage. We start with the help of God to communicate the verses of the Quran in different languages and various means, including modern marketing techniques and interaction with users on social networking sites and linking them to specialized organizations for calling the non-Muslims to Islam. Join us in communicating the light of the Quran to the heart of every human being.